Hey everybody, it's Luke over at Galaxy Tech Review, and today I've got a product from Aodin. This is their Android TV box. It is a 5.1.1 Lollipop-based Android box. You can check this box out on Amazon at the time of this review for $55. And as always, I will have a link in the description below where you guys can check it out. Now they've got two different versions. One version is the AT1 and this is the AT3. And the AT3 has 2 gigabytes of RAM and 16 gigabytes of storage. So it's the upgraded version. The AT1 has 8 gigabytes of storage and 1 gigabyte of RAM. This box was very, very snappy in my tests, which you'll see in just a few moments after we unbox this. Now this particular box is running an RK3368 Octa-Core 64-bit Cortex A53 CPU at 1.5 gigahertz. It does have built-in dual Wi-Fi and Bluetooth with Miracast functioning. Again, you'll get 2 gigs of RAM and 16 gigs of storage on here as well. So lots of good things to say about this box, but we'll do a quick unboxing first. Now they give you kind of a plain box here. It does have their logo on it. It looks pretty good. On the back, you're just going to see a few things here. Model again is AT3, so you can check that out. It does come pre-installed with Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Skype, Netflix. Kodi, of course, is pre-installed on here. It is 16.1 Jarvis, a very stable release. Wi-Fi, obviously dual Wi-Fi, and then your USB hookups, which we'll get into in just a second. So let's get this open, show you guys what comes inside, and then I have a nice demo for you of this box to show you so that you can check it out. So here's the box itself. It's not the smallest box I've seen, but it's not overly large, of course, either. So we'll get into that in just a second. Let me get the rest of the stuff out of the box so you can just kind of see what comes in the box here. Now they give you a user manual. They do give you a few boxes, and I'll show you these. They're these insert boxes, so it takes a second to get everything out of here. They do give you a few cables, which we'll look at. They do give you your power supply, of course, for the box, which we will also take a look at real quickly. And then they give you a remote, and this is a basic remote. A lot of these TV boxes come with these basic remotes. This is a pretty good looking one. I'm a big fan of just hooking up a mouse and or keyboard via USB, but if you want to use this, you can. It gives you your basic navigation functions, your volume up and down, some menu and back functions, a home button, a mute button, and and your power button there. So not too bad. The power plug here is and we'll just take a quick look, is a AC 100 to 240 volt. Output is 5 volts at 2 amps. You'll just plug this into the back of the box. They do give you an HDMI cable, which is awesome. And they do give you a USB to USB cable, extension cable. So if you want to hook up something via USB, you can use that to do so. They do a pretty cool job with inputs on this. Now this, again, is just some of the system introduction, and I'll leave this up. If you want to freeze frame it, you can, so that you can check that out. I'm not going to go over too much of that. I give you most of the stuff that you're going to need to know. Now it does support 4K at 30 frames per second, H.264, and 4K at 60 frames per second, H.265 video encoding, multi-format 1080p 60 frames video decoding on this as well. So those are some of just the basics. And it goes over the ports and how to set things up and everything. So hold on to this. It's got great information and it's well laid out. It's all written in English, and they do a pretty good job on it as well. If you want to check them out on Facebook, you can check them out on www.facebook.com/aodin.fans. If you want to get in touch with them, you can get in touch with them at Amazon, AMZ-US at HOTACK.CN, or through Amazon. If you buy it through Amazon, you can get in touch with them there. And if you want to check out their website, you can do that too, www.aodintech.com. So go check them out. I was impressed with this box. It's got a clock feature on the front here, whether you're connected via AV or HDMI, whether your SPDIF is for your audio is on there, whether you're wired, whether your Bluetooth is on, whether your wireless is on, and all of that shows up here on the display. So that's actually really cool. They have some nice feet on the bottom here and some venting to keep everything cool while it's running. You get two USB ports on the side here. They're USB 2.0 ports. You get a micro SD card slot in here. You also on the back get a PC USB for hooking up something like you know, a PC that you want to run files off of, or an external hard drive. You get a full HD HDMI cable input here, a wired LAN connection, which is up to a gigabit connection. You do have an optical out on this, and your DC 5-volt input. So a slew of inputs and outputs for this box that work really well. So with that, I'm going to take it over to the demo, and then we will come back to finish the review. Okay, so here we have the Aodin main screen, or the Aodin TV box main screen. At the top, you're going to have the Aodin logo. You're going to have your time. You're going to have your date and your day. You're going to have some icons up here as well, whether your Bluetooth is activated, whether you have an SD card inserted, whether you're running wired internet or wireless internet, and this one, of course, is if you have a USB device plugged in. I do have a USB stick with some local files for playback that I will show you real quick. Now, your main button over on the left is Kodi. This is 16.1 Jarvis, very stable release. There is a new or newer Kodi out there, but I tend to stick with Jarvis just because it's very stable. You have a browser here, which is a Chrome-based browser. You have an app drawer. You have Google Play Store, so you have direct access to the Google Play Store. So anything that you can get on the Google Play Store, you can add to this TV box, which is excellent. If you want to hook up a Bluetooth controller or a USB controller and play games on this box, you can just download them from Google Play, and you can do that no problem. Now, a little disclaimer here. I'm using a USB mouse, wired mouse, hooked up to the box because it's just easier to navigate. Android has a built-in USB mouse support, so it's much easier to navigate through this than using the remote control that they give you with these TV boxes. I'm just not a big fan of the remote controls. I'd much rather just plug in a mouse or use a 2.4 gigahertz mouse and trackpad mini controller type deal. They're just so much easier to navigate these boxes, especially when typing things in. You at least want to have a mouse because it'll bring up a virtual keyboard, and you'll want to do that. You have a Kodi update button here. You can add things to your favorites. You have a local Explorer, local file explorer, your calendar, a booster which will clear memory. So if we hit that, it'll clear processes and clear memory out for you. Your settings tab, your social app tab for Facebook or Twitter or Skype, because they all come pre-installed, and an RSS feed as well, and then an online video button here. So first, let's take a look at settings. If we go into settings, it's going to bring us right to the Android settings here, which is excellent, very easy to navigate. If you want to go to Wi-Fi, this is how you'll turn on your Wi-Fi and get connected. I'm connected to my Galaxy Tech Review. Wi-Fi here, no problems there. Bluetooth, if you want to turn that on and configure Bluetooth. USB options as well as storage options here. Your sounds and notifications display, things like that. Backup and reset, if you ever want to reset the box, you can do it right from here and factory reset the box. Date and time for all your settings for your date and your time to get those correct. And about device, if we go to about device, you're going to get the model number, which is the AT3. You're going to get your Android version, which is a Lollipop 5.1.1. Kernel version and build numbers are here as well. So that is just a quick overview of your settings. Now, the browser that they have on this is a Chrome-based browser. It works very well. If you click in here and do not have a keyboard hooked up, you will get this virtual keyboard. So if we want to go to somewhere like CNN.com, we can, just search for CNN and then go to CNN.com. Now, this is a mobile browser. because it's an Android browser. So it's going to be a little bit limited, but it loads up quickly. And as you can see, I can scroll through it no problem, and I can check out stuff. CNN does a pretty good job on their layouts, although I don't really like all the news that they report. They do a good job on their layouts. So the browser on this is excellent, works fine. I'll get out of that. Again, full access to the Google Play Store. So anything that you need from the Google Play Store, you can download and put on here, no problem. And it's quick and responsive with that 2 gigabytes of RAM, keeping up fairly well. You have a Kodi update button. There's no updates for Jarvis or this version of Jarvis, so you will not get any updates there. You also have updates, over-the-air updates for the box, and none were found. So the way they're shipping these boxes is that they are actually pretty configured and ready to go out of the box. Now, Explorer will take you to a local file explorer. You can explore the internal flash memory, a USB device, or external drive if you have one. I happen to have a USB stick in there with some movie files on it, so we're going to check that out. It'll take us to USB disk 0 and then U disk 0, and then you'll be at all of your root here. Now, I have a thing called movies on here, and there are a bunch of movies that I just put on here. We'll try Lockout real quick. Now, this is a 1080p video file. That little red bar on the side of the screen, by the way, is just a reflection from the LED in my PC on my TV. This red bar there is not in the picture, so you're not going to have to worry about that. Let me pause this for a second and fast forward so that you can see some more of kind of action playback or people. And as you can see, very bright, vivid playback here, 1080p. I have the video or the audio turned down for reasons of copyright, but you can see nice colors, very good playback as far as the playback goes. 1080p files playback. Now this will support 4K playback. I don't have any 4K files to show you. I will do one thing though. I will go out and we will take a look at YouTube, the YouTube app on here, which is fine and does well, is limited to 1080p because it's the Android YouTube app. So you can go to YouTube, you can play back 4K streams, but they'll only play back in 1080p. If I go to this Hawaii 4K, it'll play back fine, but if we take a look real quick at the standard, it's in 720p now, but if we click the quality, we can only go up to 1080p. So now that I'm in 1080p, I will make this a full screen for you real quickly, and you can see that we do indeed get good playback on here. It is over wireless. You know, nice colors, nice, everything's popping, everything seems to be running pretty smoothly and no problem. So you will get 1080p playback, but that's a limitation of the YouTube app that you won't get 4K playback even on a 4K stream. So that being said, no problems there. This is also in the app drawer where you can get your wireless update for the box. Again, there is no update at this time for this box. The last thing I want to show you is Kodi, and I don't want to spend too much time on it because it'll take hours to go over everything that Kodi is. Now, if you don't know what Kodi is a front end for a lot of things. And as we launch it here, you'll see this is Jarvis. It's a front end for pictures, videos, music, programs. And I got an error down here. That's just on an add-on that I had. And I don't really have too many add-ons at the moment. I do have one of my favorite video add-ons on here, which is Exodus. And I will launch that to show you kind of what Exodus can do. Now you can search you can look at TV shows, you can look at movies. We'll just go to new movies just because it's easiest. And what we'll do is we'll just take a look at what movie playback is like on this box. Now you have some really new movies on here like Sing and La La Land and a few others that don't quite have 1080p streams on them yet. They'll have like cams and they'll have a bunch of low-level streams. Suicide Squad's been out for a while, and now that it's out on digital, it will be on here, and you will also have that in 1080p. So we'll take a look at that real quick, and we'll show you, and again, I just want to give you a basic idea of what kind of streams that you can see on through Kodi. You can add other providers as well, other than Exodus. Now, it takes a few seconds to get all your providers here, and then, you know, anywhere from 20 to 30 seconds. And then once we have our providers, it'll give us a list of all the providers that have up here and what quality of streams they're in. There should be a 1080p stream, I would assume, for Suicide Squad at this point. Disclaimer, I do own Suicide Squad in digital, so, you know, here we go. Here, then they'll tell you 1080p, HD is usually 720, and then they've got like some low-res streams down at the bottom that we won't even go into. So let's take a look at, I'll just pick Y Movies, and it will take a second to start playing back. But once it does, and I'm going to skip ahead just in case there's any problems there. As you can see, the playback is really, really nice. You have, you know, some very good playback, 1080p playback, no problems with that playing. Again, excellent resource that you can use to playback streams of movies and TV. So, you know, if you want to catch on your TV programs as well, you can do that as well. So excellent, excellent, excellent for Kodi setup on this particular box. Again, with the 2 gigs of RAM, it does a great job at keeping up with speed and everything, and you've got plenty of storage as well. Plenty of options with SD cards and USB devices, even an external USB hard drive. You have a bunch of files loaded on there that you want to hook up to this, you can do so as well, based on a very stable version of Android 5.1.1. So this was the demo portion of the review. I'm going to take it to the end of the review. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in a minute. So that was my review of the Aodin AT3 Android Lollipop 5.1.1 Android TV box. If you have any questions about this Android box, please leave them in the comment section below, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. This was Luke from Galaxy Tech Review. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll check you guys out on the next video.